What's good, fans? What's good? What's good? What's good? Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys get an abbreviated version of the Voice of the Fans podcast this week. As you can probably hear in the background, we're at the crypto.com arena. Tonight, Cleveland, the Clippers take on somebody you might be familiar with. The Phoenix Suns. Are you familiar with the Phoenix Suns?
Familiar with them, yes.
Did you get a glimpse of their work last night?
A glimpse, yes.
Oh, you can only stay for a glimpse?
I mean, I saw what happened, if that's what you're asking.
So we got the Phoenix Suns in the crypto.com arena. So as you can hear in the background, but we're gonna get our show cracking for you guys. We're gonna get our show cracking. Oh shit, we won. I'm sorry, fans. That was a audible choke up right there. So we're gonna get our show cracking for you guys. We want to thank you for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. It is 185 version of this show, Cleveland. 185 version of the Voice of the Fans podcast online on YouTube. This is April 6, 2022, Cleveland. The months are just going by. Easter's gonna be here next week before you know it, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to look at our numbers. First of all, Cleveland, you want to get something off your chest, man? You seem like a little annoyed over there. You got something to say to the fans?
Nah, man. I'm letting you take the lead on all this.
Huh?
I'm letting you take the lead on all this.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just looking at you got the UW on. Oh, is it you got the UW on and it kind of hurts to wear the UW? Is that
we're in the middle of seasons right now. Baseball hasn't started just yet, and basketball is just running into the playoffs, and just figured I'd represent the alma mater, the family school.
I mean, I'm not sure, fans. We go through this every week after week after week, and he doesn't recognize anybody who went to that school down in Montlake. So I'm not sure he's a resident there or he ever spent any time down there actually. So Cleveland, each and every week we start with our numbers. Today being April 6th, we're going to use the number 6. It's being week 185 of the Voice of the Fan podcast. We're going to use the number 85. When you think of the number 6, Cleveland, there's been a lot of illustrious Hall of Fame type players to don that number. When you think of the number 6, Cleveland, let me hear you scream right now. Go ahead, who comes to your mind first? Or who wore that number the best?
Go ahead. Cam, who comes to mind first is the Dr. Julius Erving, Dr. J, for the Philadelphia 76ers. And the person who wore it best is the Kang, in Miami and also in Los Angeles.
Stan Musial?
LeBron James.
Bill Russell?
Excuse me?
Did you say Bill Russell? Or you said Julio Cruz?
The question was who wore it the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, King James.
He wore it better than Dr. J?
He wore it better than Dr. J for sure.
He wore it better than Bill Russell?
I mean, that's somewhat debatable considering the 11-4
it's no debate. What are you talking
disparity. About? But, as far as skill-wise, yeah, I think he wore it a little bit better. Excuse me, I think he's wearing it a little bit better.
I know that you're 6 feet, so that makes him probably like. So fans, we got a new forum for you guys. As you know, you can already catch our show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. But we got a new forum. We're going to incorporate Twitter onto our show. There's two things we're going to do, Cleveland. We're going to do the Voice of the Fans Twitter account, which we already got. I'm going to tell you guys about that right now. And then we're going to have the Voice of the Fans community. So, fans, you can tell your people about this. You can invite people into the community if you want. It's the Voice of the Fans Twitter chat on Twitter, if you will. It's going to be a community for Voice of the Fans. So, you guys tuning in. We appreciate you guys tuning in. But I want you to go right now to @_Voice of the Fans on Twitter. @_Voice of the Fans on Twitter, and that's our Twitter page, and that's interactive. If you got something you want to say, if you don't want to say it on YouTube, that's fine. Send me a tweet. at _ Voice of the Fans on Twitter. When Cleveland says some nonsense like, what did you say? LeBron James is more better than Bill Russell? You start hemming and hawing. We got something for that, man. We got a forum where you guys can participate in that. So please, it's at Voice of the Fans on Twitter. Give me a break. Give me a moment. I'm gonna put it in chat right here. I'm gonna create a banner. Right here. Give me a moment, fans. I'm sorry, I'm unprepared for this, but I want to help you guys out. We got this thing rolling, and we want to add your participation to the show. There it is, right there. There it is, right there. That's the Twitter handle for the show. Go ahead and log on that, subscribe to that, and then we're going to keep a running tally. If you want to comment on that, comment on something ridiculous that Cleveland says, you got a forum for it right there. I was going too many weeks that was going by with him just saying something ridiculous, and the fans, they was responding on the private chat on the podcast, but it wasn't getting heard. Now you guys can see what Cleveland is making these weird accusations, and we got fans that's going to respond to that. So, have you already joined it, Cleveland?
I sure have, Cam. Can't wait to hear what people have to say, what they think. And I'm open for rebuttal. So yeah, I'm here every day, all day.
Your feelings might get hurt. Come to think about it. No. Your feelings might get hurt. And then we're going to have a talk about bullying and fans. We don't want bullying, and don't start bullying Cleveland. And then, I enjoy doing the show with Cleveland. I don't want to, I don't want something to happen where he gets run off the show. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking to do.
Fans, that's not going to happen. Don't let Cam discourage you from saying what you want to say. Please, by all means. I have everything scanning. It'll be just fine.
Again, you see the handle Voice at _ Voice of the Fans. That's a Twitter handle. And again, we're going to develop, once we get our group going, we're going to develop something to have the community going. So again, our fans from across the world, and we got fans from the East Coast, we got fans from the West Coast of the United States, we got fans down South Cleveland, we got fans Cleveland over in Germany. I don't know if you know that or not, but our fans across the world are going to be able to tune into the show and then participate in the show through the Twitter community. So please, once again, fans, go ahead and make sure you join our Twitter community. There you see subscribe to our Twitter page at _ Voice of the Fans. That's dedicated strictly to the show. So again, appreciate you guys participating in the show as you do, but there's another way you can participate. So Cleveland, when you think of number 85, who come to your mind first?
Cam, since you got me on this 206 kick, I'm gonna have to say Paul John's coming to mind first. Touchdown catcher for the Seahawks back in the day, who worked the best. I'd have to go with that tight end from the Chargers, Antonio Gates.
He was pretty good. I think the guy who comes to my mind first, no lie, no cap, is Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. You remember that kid?
For the Giants, for sure.
Number 85. And then you can look deeper in this and see Jack Youngblood played. Man, he wore that number. And how can you not appreciate what Jack Youngblood brought to the game? And then Ocho Cinco. Yeah, Ocho Cinco, you got to recognize him.
Basketball teacher.
Oregon State, Cincinnati Bengal. Yeah, for sure.
Cleveland. The Dolphins trade Devontae Parker to the Patriots for a 5th-round pick. The last time the Dolphins and the Patriots made a trade, the last time the Dolphins sent a wide receiver to New England, do you know who that receiver was?
It was Wes Welker, I believe.
I don't think Devontae Parker has an upside that Wes Welker. What do you think?
I'm not really worried about either one of those two teams, to be honest with you, Cam. I know you want to talk about Dolphin stuff and additions and subtractions, but yeah, man. Let's stick to the focus of the show, which is your involvement with the Chargers, and
I cover the Chargers. That doesn't mean my affinity or passion for the Dolphins.
Oh, it's a little bit more than cover
waned.
the Chargers fans. I mean,
Has-
if you want to
has-
get
has
back
waned at all.
to some of these episodes from the last season, it's a little bit more than covering the Chargers. Wouldn't you say?
T-shirt. We're talking to you.
Wow. You had me believing for a minute.
Yeah, you.
I cover the Chargers, like I said, but that doesn't
Oh man,
my-
the culture and the movement, Cam, and the potential and the possibilities, and left tackle and the quarterback, and oh my God,
are
do
you
Coach Staley is just a visionary.
I mean, you
Right?
keep bringing these guys up, but do you dispute that these guys are the standard in the NFL?
Excuse me?
Do you dispute that the Chargers have become the standard in the NFL? Do you
Oh,
dispute that?
yeah, I dispute that. They haven't made the playoffs. How can it be the standard for anything? Standard for what?
This is a Wednesday.
I mean, if you don't make the playoffs, yeah, you're not in the standard conversation, Cam. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay. Well, let's talk about a team that won the championship that you might be familiar with. How about them Los Angeles Rams? Are you familiar with Bobby Wagner? By the way,
I am quite familiar. I am.
Do you know
quite familiar with Bobby Wagner.
do you know who Bobby Wagner is?
Yes, I do.
Well, you're going to get a chance to see him twice this fall. Are you looking forward to that?
Not at all. He's very resentful about the way things ended, and rightfully so. And he's probably got a little bit left in the tank, and yeah, it won't be pleasant.
So what do you guys? I had a Seahawks segment here a little later in the show. Well, go ahead, give us an update on what's going on down there in Renton.
Nothing. Getting ready for the draft.
What's that?
Nothing. Getting ready for the draft. That's all.
Well, I mean, what's the talk? What are you guys looking at?
Got to keep everything close to the vest, Cam. And John and P keep it moving. It's a moving target. I mean, the minute you think they're going to do something, they don't. So, yeah.
So it sounds like you don't have no confidence in what's going on out there with John and Pete. It doesn't sound like your confidence is waning. That's what it sounds like.
I don't have as much confidence as I did when Pete was fresh out of college and had his, finger on the pulse of, college athletics and the best players all over the country.
You finally hit the head on the nail.
Been saying that for quite some time, Cam. Apparently you don't pay attention during these episodes. It's kind of weird.
What are you talking about, Cleveland?
I say that all the time, Cam. The window of opportunity with regards to making blockbuster, finding Richard Sherman in the 5th round and Doug Baldwin undrafted and Russell Wilson in the 3rd round and Bruce Irving with the 16th pick. I mean, you can do that when you've recruited every major college player in the country. That's like 10 years ago. So we'll see.
You can't cover your face.
Really?
We'll bring the
That's interesting that you say that. That's interesting that you say that. And I appreciate your honesty right there. Because we would have thought that you guys, Pete Carroll had carte blanche up there in Seattle. He was comfortable. He wasn't going anywhere.
Well, he does have carte blanche. That's part of the problem. This is why Russell Wilson is no longer here, and the coach is still here. But at the same time, his eye for talent, I mean, although he is a football lifer, that's great, and they have had some success in the past, but I mean, that was kind of based upon his ability and, kind of intimate knowledge of what was going on in the process. This time around, I'm not quite as confident, but number 9 is a pretty interesting pick to have. Teams have to move around you, and, weird things happen. I mean, I've seen some draft where the left tackle from Alabama could fall number 9. It's like, okay.
So what do you draft? Are you going for the left tackle? Are you going for the quarterback? What do you want to do at number 9?
If Evan Neal drops to number 9, yeah, you take the tackle. You don't play around and trade back and get a good tackle. No, you get like the best tackle in the draft.
So what do you?
But of course, we never ever know what Pete and John are going to do. So why even speculate?
You don't want the receiver from Alabama?
With a 9 pick, no.
You wait this year and go get another quarterback next year?
If Coral or the guy from Cincinnati, Rittner, are available, maybe you take a flyer, but otherwise you wait.
Wow, that's interesting you say that. And you're happy with Drew Lock? Have you seen Drew Lock? Has he showed
Not
up?
happy with Drew Lock. Hoping he can be serviceable for a season.
Has he showed up in Seattle?
Oh yeah, he's been here. He loves it here.
Huh?
Yeah, he loves it here. He's been to Ivers and Dangers and all that. Yeah, he loves it here.
I mean, are you sure he loves it there? I mean, what's the weather been like?
What's not to love? It's Seattle. You know that.
What's not to love?
Yeah.
The clouds, the rain.
Other than the clouds and the rain, sure.
So we talked about Aaron stepping down and Todd Bowles coming back. We talked about that last week, right? Are you excited about Bowles and Lefferts duo in Tampa Bay?
Not really. I'm excited for him to have the opportunity. It's kind of weird and kind of behind the scenes the way the whole thing unfolded, but let's see what he can do with it.
Do you think they're gonna? Are they a playoff team, the Buccaneers? Do they make the playoffs next year?
They make the playoffs next year, yes.
They do.
Yes.
And you got Tom Brady starting with the Buffalo Bills. You got Tom Brady starting with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Week 1.
Do I have Tom Brady starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Yes.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Now that you had a week to sit on Hill in Miami, Hill and Tua combination, are you excited about this combination? Are you worried that Tua can handle the? I don't know about you, but my grandfather lived in California, and he would come up to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather would always rent a car. Usually the car that he rents is a brand new car. My grandfather he rented Corvettes. He's rented, Corvettes was what he rented a couple times. The IROC, the Camaro, excuse me. He's rented one of those. But it was the Corvette that when I got behind it, he was hesitant to let me drive the Corvette because of why? Why do you think he was hesitant to let me drive the Corvette?
No, enlighten me, Cam. I have no idea.
I mean, when you're 14 years old and you get behind the wheel of a Corvette and you step on the car, I mean, the car kind of shakes. It gives a little wave because it has that engine, that V8 engine that's ready to roar. And then I kind of look at this Miami Dolphins offense that's developing with Mostert behind the quarterback. You got Gesicki, you got Waddle on one side. Now you got Tyreek Hill on one side. It's like that engine, that car that's ready to roar. It's waiting for somebody to step on the gas and say, "Let's go." But the only problem is right now, Teddy Bridgewater's a man away from making that happen, from being able to turn on the ignition and get that offense going. So my question to you is, would you be excited if you're Mike McDaniels, or are you a little hesitant to let Tua get behind this Corvette that he may not be ready for? What's your thoughts on that, Cleveland?
Well, a couple of things, Cam. First and foremost, you shouldn't be worried about the Miami Dolphins too much. You got your own team out there with the Chargers that you need to worry about. Secondly, if we're talking, objectively with regards to what the Miami Dolphins should do, I mean, I've always been Team Tua. So, We'll see what Tua can do with these tools. It's not gonna be what Teddy Bridgewater can do with it. Yeah, no, that's kind of far fetched. If that was the case, they should just draft a quarterback. Look at
So
Jimmy
you rather
Garoppolo
draft-
or some other people. I don't know. But like I said, I've always been Team Tua.
I mean, you was Team Tua. I don't know why you was Team Tua. What I told you about Tua has come
Okay,
to
see,
fruition,
there
right?
you go, Cam. There you go, Cam. Prognosticating about what Tua's going to do or not do. Hey, man, it's Tua's team.
I mean, but I've already. I mean, Tua's been in the league 2
No,
years.
man, don't worry about what the Dolphins doing. What the Dolphins are doing, Cam. What's Justin Herbert up to? Let's hear some more about that.
Oh, he's got brisket.
Is he working with his receivers in the offseason like Russ used to do up here in Seattle? I mean, what's up?
He got his brisket going. He invites his family over for brisket. Yeah, he's become a.
Okay, well, great. It's that culture thing that you've been talking about all this time, huh? Okay. All right, well, stay in your lane, homie. I'll talk about the Dolphins when it's time. You don't gotta, keep looking over the fence and stuff.
Looking over the fence. This guy's wild. So, are you excited about the maturation though of Tua? You haven't told me what you was projecting.
I am excited about the maturation of Tua. My
will
goodness,
Tua be the starter by week 6? I guess that's what I want to hear you say.
I'm sorry?
Will Tua be the starter by week 6?
Oh yeah, Tua's starting the whole season. Yeah, he's
got
got
something
a stronger running game, and
Tua
better
will
receivers.
be-
Yeah,
He going to start how many games? Will he start next season?
the over under is that what you're asking?
You got 15, 16?
I'll set the over under at 9. Yeah,
No. You say he's starting the whole season. You say he's starting the whole season. Now you backtracking on that? Now you want to
well,
give me half a
I'm a gambler by nature, Cam, and I know that he has a history of having injuries. So I'm gonna set it at 9, more than half the season. It's more than he's played this entire career.
So you already see fans. This is why I developed the Voice of the Fans Twitter page for this exact reason right now. Cleveland says in one breath, Tua's going to start the entire season, and then when I get to type it and to hold him accountable, he backtracks and goes from the entire season to 9. That's essentially half the season.
Well, as an experienced gambler and someone that knows someone's, injury history, why would I not go with, a little bit better than what he's done in the past, what he's shown? I think that with these weapons, he should be able to stay a little bit healthier, but, we'll see.
Wow,
New coaching staff. It's a lot of moving parts, Cam. I can't really just commit to.
Okay, I'm just just don't throw nothing out there like that. Then this is the Voice of the Fans show.
Okay, well, why are you still worried about what the Dolphins are doing? Can we get back to Coach Staley and his philosophy and his culture and what Justin Herbert is doing?
What you want to know about those guys?
Man, I just want you to continue to support them the way you've been supporting them.
This guy, you're a mess. What do you think about Stephon Diggs signing a new deal? $96 million?
I like it.
Fully guaranteed?
I like it. Even there, the chemistry with the quarterback ain't going nowhere. So yeah, lock it in. I like that other receiver that Josh Allen was slinging it to in the Kansas City game. He was nice.
What's going to happen with Mayfield, man? Are you guys waiting for the price to continue to drop on Mayfield? Is that what you're waiting on?
No, I don't think it's a price thing. I think it's a fit thing. I mean, we'll see how the draft unfolds. I don't think anything can be done before the draft. I mean, if one of these quarterbacks falls to us in our lap, I mean, what are we gonna do? Gotta do that first, right?
I mean, you went out and got Matt Flynn before you drafted Russell.
Sure.
And signed Matt Flynn to a ridiculous deal.
Sure did.
If I remember correctly.
Sure did. Yeah,
So,
this is not a similar scenario, but that's fine.
Wasn't that
Baker
a
Mayfield was the number one pick in the draft and has, won playoff games. So that's not the same kind of thing.
wasn't that the same kind of thing? I don't understand. That would be a free agent pick quarterback that you pick up while you still draft a quarterback. Why is that different?
Okay. So we've learned our lesson. Had we just drafted the quarterback and then saw what the quarterback could do, it would have saved the franchise like $14 million. So, numbers a little bit bigger for a number one pick, and they're just doing their same due diligence. I don't always understand how this whole thing works out, Cam, but I'm trying to, sprinkle you a little bit as we go along.
So you're always kind of it's just amazing to me how you, whatever John and Pete do, like you're head over heels for it.
When did I ever say that? I haven't said that the whole
time.
That's
what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me.
10 minutes ago, you were telling me how I had no confidence or faith in Pete Carroll and Josh Allen. Now I'm just head over heels about everything that they do. Yeah. Stay on. Stay the subject.
The subject was what's going on with the Seahawks. We wanted the Seahawks update.
Man, we'll see after the draft, Cam, and what they're gonna do during the draft. I can't really say. It depends on how the draft unfolds. The number 9 pick is very interesting, and then they have back picks in the second round. So we'll just have to see. You want me to have like some mysterious news flash? I'm not Adam Schefter, man. I don't know.
What's it look like in Hawk Alley? Did they clean that up, or
there are 2 ways to win?
Did they clean up Hawk Alley yet, or is people still hanging out down there, or what? Was it Hawk Alley?
People still hanging out there. Yeah, it's rough.
They'll
fix it by football season.
What do you think about Amazon signing for the big deal? And now Amazon's still going to be the sole promoter of what's the broadcaster of Thursday Night Football. What do you think about that deal?
Power move by Bezos and went and got Al Michaels. That's not easy to do, right? Money is no object. You do weird, wild things. So we'll see where it goes.
Do you think that's going to make it? Well, the NFL, we know that NFL is just a monster in the train that just keeps on rolling. But are they throwing people off the train by making this deal? Because now that means you're going to have Amazon. You're going to have to stream. No, they're just following the trends. They're getting with the times.
I mean, until everyone weans off of the other, older methods, or the system doesn't, handle both sides. I mean, that's what it's going to be. It's just a power move. It's just I have more dollars than you, and doesn't have to make money, so. Just want the control.
That is great. You make a great point. You didn't have to make the money. NFL free agency. Any players that you think is laying out there? I mentioned Baker Mayfield. Any players that you think are sitting out there that a team should go sign, like the Seahawks should go after?
No, they're all gone.
They're all gone.
Yep.
That's weird. There's some diamonds in the rough out there. People dig up, turn over the dirt. So again, fans, we got you guys for abbreviated time in this show. We're gonna move on. No breaks, Cleveland. So you and Coco gotta hold yourself.
Got it.
We're going to jump right into this NBA topic. As I know you're familiar with the Phoenix Suns, who's, we got some Suns out there on the court trying to warm up tonight. I know you're familiar with what they did last night. Talk about your give us your grade on your Lakers, how they finished the season.
D-, man. They struggled down the stretch. I think over half of their wins since the All-Star break were, when LeBron went for, 50 plus. So obviously the front office moves did not come to fruition. Trading all of that talent for, a a shell of his former MVP self.
Low fat water was good.
Yeah, not so much. We've had a lot of injuries to deal with, and it's just time to see what we can do in the lottery. How we can do.
But you don't have no draft picks, buddy. You're not in no lottery. You don't have this. There's no draft for you. Did you miss that? Did you miss that point? This is your team. You got to come back with these guys next year. Didn't you hear Magic break it down for you guys? Magic said you guys are coming back with the squad. So what's going to happen over the summer is going to make Russell better, a smarter basketball player. What's going to happen?
We're going to get an improvement to Russell Westbrook.
So you're going to get improvement to Russell what?
To Russell Westbrook, yeah.
How are you going to make Anthony Davis healthier? How are you going to fix his?
Well, that can't be done. That can't be done. That's why we need to get an improvement to Russell Westbrook.
I mean, what are you going to do? Do you guys pull some blood from LeBron? I mean, do you try to freeze some chromosomes? I mean, how are you going to try to duplicate this performance from a 40-year-old man next season that you got from him this season?
Have plenty of time to rest and rehab, as it appears, not making the playoffs. So, I mean, that's like 40, 50 games, that he would have ordinarily played, but he's no longer playing. And then there's no Olympics this year. So, I mean, man, what's that, like 6 months of rest and just rehab and, kind of looking at film and, kind of getting with the new front office and kind of seeing where we can go with things. And, maybe it's a zero sum. You know what I'm saying?
You think this might work? This might be good for you. This not making the playoff might afford you guys more rest. That's what you think.
Yeah, take a step back and look and see what happened, what unfolded, and make those improvements.
So as
office coaching, etc.
So as we record this show, Cleveland, your guy LeBron James is in position to win the scoring title for the NBA. Though he has to play one more game to win that scoring title. So if it get to 58 games for the season, or should we have to play 2 more games to get to 58 to be eligible to win the scoring title? Should he play out the season, play these extra games, and be eligible make himself eligible for winning the scoring title, or should he throw in just sit down the rest of the year?
Well, Cam, it's not about the scoring title. It's about the fans, and it's about the representation. It's about the appreciation of the game. It's not about the scoring title. I mean, he's already gotten so many other awards and accolades. What's a scoring title when you're 40? I mean, big deal. It's been 8 straight championships. What's a scoring title?
Oh, boy.
Regular season award that has no real significance or meaning.
You guys hear this garbage coming from? All of a sudden now he cares about the fans? This man hasn't cared
He's always cared about the fans. He's a man of the people. He's always cared about the fans.
This man, knowing your guy, has making fans all season long. Now all of a sudden he needs to play out the season for his fans to give them something to root for.
Cam, it's always about the fans. That's why they do it. They do it for fans.
The fans, and he's telling this lie with a straight face. He's saying this mess with the absolute straight face. Look at him. There's no smirk or anything. I can't believe. How does Coco listen to you? How do you talk to Coco with that mouth, and you're going to tell a blatant lie like this, and lie to the fans like this? How do you do this? How do you do this?
How is that a lie? He's all about the fans.
Yeah, with his $200 sneakers, he's thinking about the fans and the people.
What does the price of his sneakers have to do with his appreciation for the fans?
How's that showing?
I don't understand the correlation at all.
How's the price of the sneakers showing appreciation to the fans?
I don't know. How are those $700 Jordans showing appreciation to fans? I understand.
Nobody's talking about Jordan.
What's your
Nobody's
point?
talking about Jordan. Nobody's talking about Jordan.
Of course not.
Man, this guy, it's all about the fans. So,
God. Didn't mean to broach the subject of the kid.
So will we see LeBron play throughout the season? That's funny that you throw the fans in there.
I think he will play because some of those fans have paid their hard-earned money. Sometimes well in advance.
So why did he sit out in Phoenix then? Why did he sit out in Phoenix?
Because physically he was not able to play or perform.
So he wasn't able to play on Tuesday night, but he's going to be able to play. He's going to be able to play on Friday night.
Rest and treatment for the last couple of days, so that he can get in these next 2 games.
Oh my goodness, this is just straight garbage right here. Anyway, MVP race. Jokic, Embiid, Giannis. Now last week I was saying Jokic wasn't going to win because his team was in 6th place. I was saying Embiid and Giannis would have to play heads up for it. Giannis beat Embiid, and they got smoked by Luka. This MVP race is nuts. Should Jokic, even though he's 6th place in the West, should records be ignored in this factor? Understanding that he's missed Michael Porter Jr. and his point guard Murray
and Jamal Murray. But yes, when we're talking about this, Cam, I don't think records should be ignored. In which case, I still think that the dark horse in all of this is Devin Booker. You're aforementioned Phoenix Suns shooting guard that's been playing so masterful in the absence of Chris Paul. Someone that you speak so highly of so often. Just the way he's been able to keep his team with the best record in the NBA for this long, with that type of formidable competition, I think it's
Cleveland, are you trying to snow the people? Do you forget I do this show with you every week? Do you forget that I do this?
I forget that. Is that a question?
And all of a sudden now, in the last 2 weeks, you've had all this, what is this glowing commentary for Devin Booker. This point last season, I don't think you knew what jersey number you wore. This point last season, Devin Booker did nothing to impress you.
Devin Booker is Kobe's last Jedi. Okay, he's training well. He's finally starting to understand, and he used the force to the best of his ability. And so far, best record in the NBA.
Last season, didn't have the best record in the league.
Yeah, we're not talking about last season. Why are you bringing up last season? We're talking about 2022.
I'm just trying to talk about the development where you gave Devin Booker no credit for anything for 13 months.
Well, Cam, look at what he's done in the regular season so far.
All of a sudden, he's in MVP.
2022.
This is
he's led his team to the best record in the NBA.
My goodness. So you got Devin Booker over Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic. You got Devin Booker.
Right now, the record will indicate that his contributions have, been more significant.
No, the record indicates that he's on a better team than either one of those guys are. That's what that record indicates.
Not necessarily.
It indicates who's one-on-one better.
That's not really necessarily what we're saying here. We're saying it's because of Devin Booker that they have the best team.
I don't know if I should be happy that it's taken 12 months for you to come to this revelation, and for my knowledge, this is finally see.
Hey Cam, this regular season MVP, I think Devin Booker is well in line for this, man. Yeah.
Who do you have for coach of the year, Cleveland? Monty Williams, Ty Lue, Taylor Jenkins.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to eliminate Ty Lue.
Oh, you have to eliminate Ty Lue.
Yeah.
Why did I get eliminated?
I don't really see where he comes in the conversation. You know who my coach of the year is?
Ty Lue has the Clippers.
You know who my coach of the year is, Cam?
Ty Lue has
Cam. You know who my coach of the year is? Your guy. What's his name?
Taylor Jenkins? Who are you talking about?
Your guy, man. You guys are close. You get closer to him than anybody in the media can get. What's his name? He'll talk to you. He'll tell everybody else that. F off. He'll sit there and chop it up with you for 5 minutes. What's that dude's name?
Popovich.
Oh! What was he? He was back feeling like Deion Sanders, like you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Pop, man. They were in like 15th place 2 weeks ago. They're in the play-in.
Hey, but somebody collapsed that basically opened the door.
Oh, so that has nothing to do with Popovich coaching, man. I'm gonna tell him you said that.
No, I didn't say that at all. But I just said somebody collapsed. Somebody collapsed and opened the door up, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll walk through. We'll go to the playoffs. If you don't want to go, we'll go to the playoffs." That's what happened. And then DeJounte Murray's like, "Yeah, we'll go. We'll step through that door. If the other guys don't want to go."
Coach of the year, Greg Popovich, with no talent, and DeJounte Murray.
Wow.
Not saying that he's no talent because he's an all-star and a 206 guy. Shout
Over
out
Taylor
to the D.
Jenkins? Over
But
Taylor
hey,
Jenkins?
man, yeah, that's the coach of the year. That
Wow.
wasn't supposed to happen.
So who do you have for rookie year? Evan Mobley,
Hey.
Scotty Barnes, Kate Cunningham?
Yeah,
Over Scotty Barnes?
yeah, Cade's balling.
Huh?
Yeah, Cade's balling, man.
Nah, not over Scotty, bro. Scotty.
Is Scotty going to be a franchise guy? Because I think Cade is.
Is Kate? Is Kate? That's questionable, right? That's debatable. I don't know how many games Detroit is with that improvement been over year, but I know Kate is, or I know Scotty Barnes is looking good. You got Cade as rookie year.
Cade
What
has
up,
the
what?
ROI.
You have a sixth man of the year.
Tyler Hero.
Huh?
Tyler Hero.
What about Cam Johnson for the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, right.
Quickly. Emmanuel quickly for the Knicks.
Nah, man. Mm-mm. Knicks suck. And fans, you'll notice as we get a little bit closer to the playoffs, I'm going to get a little bit more abrasive about these kind of, on the fringe type questions. Yeah, man, it's time to focus in. We're only talking about a handful of cats, and we're about to see what's about to go down. And that's why I love this time of the season so much.
Yeah, we all love this type of season. The Clippers look like they're comfortably in the 8th seed of play-in tournament. They're gonna play Minnesota. Who wins that game? Clippers, Minnesota. Minnesota. Bomber may hear you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's nothing personal.
What
but
about
again, Mr. Bomber? Like I said, it's getting closer to that time where it's that time.
What about who do you project between New Orleans and the San Antonio Spurs?
Spurs might get him.
Oh, all of a sudden you have the Spurs as world beaters right now.
Well, I believe in Pop, so.
No, this guy is something else. So what's going to happen? Who's going to be on the sideline for the Purple and Gold next year? If it's not going to be Frank Vogel, are you going after Jason Kidd? I mean, there are reports that you're going after Doc Rivers. You want Doc? You want Doc in position?
It'd be Fizz. It'd be Fizdale.
Well, if you go with Fizz, why don't you go ahead and make that move this season?
Thought they were going to turn it around. They were wrong.
So in the Eastern Conference, in the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference, 8 seed is Brooklyn, 7 seed is Cleveland. Who do you have winning that one?
Brooklyn.
Yeah, think about that one. And the 9th and 10th seed, Atlanta's number 9, Charlotte's number 10. Who you got winning that duel?
Oh man, Ice Train.
Can either one of them scare? Can either one of them scare the Miami Heat?
Ice Train scares you to death. Give me just 1 second.
I'm not saying we're looking for you, but we're looking for you.
So sorry, fans.
Man, that wasn't Coco barking, was it?
It was some weird DoorDash drop off. I don't even know what's in the bag. Find out later.
All right, Cleveland, let's real quick, man. We're gonna have to wrap this up here in about 10 minutes, but a couple of topics I want to touch on. This week in history, we're gonna do this week in history. April 6th, 1799. Well, no, let me take that back. April 6th, 1876. The first modern Olympic game began in Athens, Greece. 1876. 1987. April 6th, Sugar Ray Leonard took the middleweight title from Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember watching that fight? Speaking of boxing,
Close circuit with my dad. That was a good one.
Speaking of boxing, man, we got Earl Spence and taking on Eugenio Ugas, the Cuban, next week in Dallas.
Word.
Yeah, who you got in that fight?
Yeah, you broke up. Something about Errol Spence or somebody. Wasn't Bud Crawford, so I couldn't hear you.
Earl Spence, Eugenio Ugas.
And somebody else not named Terrence Crawford.
Looks like that fight might be on the book, so Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not Errol Spence. No, not 2 weeks. No. Cleveland, real quickly, man. Can Tiger make the cut at the Masters?
No.
Does Tiger play Friday? If he tees off on Thursday, does he play Friday?
Half the round.
Half the round? What's your takeaways from spring training, man?
I'm excited that Julio Rodriguez made the cut for my Seattle Mariners playing in center field. It will be an exciting season.
Wait. You said you're excited he made the cut?
Yeah.
He was questionable?
He absolutely was questionable. He was a minor league player. He's never played in the major leagues before.
Whoa, time out. How does the guy you've been bragging about for the last 6 months, how is he potentially not on the team?
Well, he'll always be a part of the team, Cam. It's a question of whether or not he was going to make the major league team. I know you don't really understand how this baseball thing works, so let me educate you. When prospects come up, they typically come up through the minor leagues. No one ever just jumps to the major leagues, right? So they have to have a certain amount of success in the minor leagues before they get an opportunity to play in the major leagues. Although Julio Rodriguez has had a lot of success in the minor leagues, it was not really clear whether or not he would be able to make the jump to the major leagues. But because of the phenomenal spring training that he has had, he was able to make that jump. So now you're going to see Griffey, Acuna Jr., Tatis Jr., Aaron Judge type production at a very early age, potentially. So let's just wait and see.
So Tatis, Ken Griffey Jr. Who else did you say?
Vlad Jr., Aaron Judge, some of the players that have come up very quickly and had, you know, great production.
Aren't you putting a lot of pressure on this kid? Huh?
No, he relishes it. He puts it on himself. He feels he's that good. So he's earned it in spring training. Let's see where we go from here.
So
That's what the great ones do, Cam. The great ones do that.
we're gonna watch it, man. We're gonna watch this guy to see what happens. But Monday night, you want to talk about the tournament game?
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, it was quite the nail biter. You know, North Carolina went up by 15. You know, going into the break, you know, Bill Self gave a, you know, very heartfelt speech. Got Kansas on the right path. They were able to cut that lead. It was a tie game with 10 minutes to go. You know, injuries on the North Carolina side to Caleb Love and Armando Bacot, and you know, Kansas was able to hold them off. Went by 3.
Cleveland. So I called you. We put some money on the game. What did you have?
Well, I had North Carolina plus the 4 points, so I was, you know, never really in question. I was never really all that concerned or worried about it.
Cleveland. You weren't never concerned or worried. You're telling a lie. When North Carolina turns it over, Kansas had the ball, 4 seconds left, up 3 points. All they have to do is inbound the damn ball. They're going to get fouled. At very worst, it becomes a push. At the very worst, it's a push. The guy makes 2 free throws, I win. How does a collegiate player who's playing in the Final Four not understand how to take the ball inbounds and not step out of bounds?
Well, Cam, they're college kids. You're being too hard on them. There was a lot of pressure on him, and he was trying to do a little bit too much and ended up stepping out of bounds. I mean, that happens.
No, he deserves to have pressure put on him. He's never been in a game to try to end up on the ball with.
He's certainly not been in a national championship game with 3 seconds left. I mean, you can't replicate that type of pressure, Cam. What are you trying to do to the young man? He's not even 22 years old. I mean, why?
He could have caught the ball. He could have caught the ball and stood there.
Could have done a lot of things. You can't be surprised when these other things happen. I mean, it's just part of life, man. It's just, you know, the maturation process, if you will.
And so that cost me $50 because the damn kid can't inbound the ball. That cost me $50.
No one game comes down to just, you know, one play, Cam. It's a series of plays throughout the entire game. You know, you can't just put it all on one thing.
You check your Cash App and make sure. Did you get your money?
I did not.
Did you check your Cash App?
Not since the show started.
Well, you might want to check your card.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, please, hold up. What do I got here? What? You can't came through. Look at him.
I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that, just so you know how to pay off because the damn kid.
I appreciate that, Cam. Man, you know, it's not just in hypothetical no more. Man. It's real. It's real, man. It's real.
Because the kid can't damn inbound the damn ball. Cost me $50. Game went just how I predicted the game goes.
See, Cam, you're starting to feel it. You're starting to get into that that sports better syndrome sometimes. Yeah. Keep you up at night.
Man, I'm hot. But fans, thank you guys for tuning in, fans. As always, your participation is greatly appreciated. Like I said, thank you for tuning in, fans. Please go subscribe to our Voice of the Fans Twitter page. _Voice of the Fans. _Voice of the Fans on Twitter. Much easier for people to. This should be much easier for people to remember, right, Cleveland?
For sure. And fans, because we're drifting into that area that Cam knows nothing about and that we differ the most about, coaching versus talent, which is what a lot of this show is about coaching versus talent. And what's more important, we're about to drift into the NBA playoffs, and we're about to get into some real serious debates. So would love your feedback. Let you know what you think, and let's do this.
Fans, thank you, Cleveland. Thank you for your participation. Fans, as always, thank you for making our voice your choice. Make sure you hit us up on Twitter. Give us any show topics that you want to talk about. Thank you for your participation. Also, when you hit us up, let us know where you're reaching out to us from. We appreciate that. Cleveland, holler at you soon.
Talk soon, bro.
Okay.